much. Mr. Flanagan.
I would like a simplification and at least a clarification for many farmers across Europe, from the west of Ireland to northern Spain and across all uplands in the European Union. The narrow interpretation being used of the GAAC, a Good Agricultural and Environmental Condition, for payment of the basic payment scheme is in direct conflict with SMR 1 and 5, which is conservation of wild birds and conservation of habitats. Highly subjective judgments are being made on land eligibility, with huge financial implications for farmers involved. Farmers need clarity on this, and the EU and CAP needs to remember that one of the founding ideas of the Common Agricultural Policy was to support all farmers and all types of land. And at the moment that isn't happening, and many of these people fear they will be left out of the scheme altogether. And there is a suggestion as well that this is not by accident, because yet again this money is really targeted for the big rich farmers, and it's only tokenism what you're at. Can you prove me wrong, please?
The conservation of habitats and birds, Mr. Flanagan, I'm delighted to know that you're now back on as an environmentalist again. I thought you took a bit of a sabbatical for a while in Ireland. But in any way, there is a commonage problem certainly in your area, and the member state involved is actually making a submission to the Commission officials this week. There is a considerable amount of support for the member states to implement policies that will bring about convergence and bring about support for small farmers. So I don't subscribe to the notion at all that there's not flexibility there at all to help small producers to stay in business. That's what we're trying to do. It's not about rich farmers. I think that's a soundbite now that you might actually put one side for a while. You've got a good run. You've got a good run out of that.
Slowly.
No, I have a good memory, a very good memory. You have a bad one about the environment. So I remember these things.
A point of order. I did not ask the question on sofa farmers. Can that be clarified? I do agree with the question, and I do know Mr. Hogan will do nothing about it because they're his friends.
Dziękuję, pan poseł Flanagan.
Thank you very much, Mr. Flanagan.
People in Ireland and maybe in other states tend to get very excited when there's a few pennies thrown around by the European Union, and potentially we might get something out of this. But really it's a case of you have cut down our oak tree and you're offering us acorns now to help us out. The reality is, in December of last year, the Irish state borrowed €500 million under pressure from the ECB, burnt that money. It no longer exists. We'll do the same thing for the next 4 years, and for the 5 years after that it will borrow €1 billion every year and extinguish it. And we're meant to jump up and down and get excited that after robbing us, if we beg, we might get a few pence back. Well, I have to say, this is sick. Mr. Juncker's idea of a union of friends and a union that is meant to trade with each other is sick. We already have the money within the Irish state. We wouldn't have to come begging to this pathetic union if you hadn't robbed us in the first place. Give us our money back, and then we won't have to beg to you for a pittance. Thank you.